A lot of the news surrounding the Yankees this spring has been negative. Garrett Cole got injured, Luis Gil got injured, Giancarlo Stanton is injured, but there's still a lot of really exciting things about this team as we enter the 2025 season. The Yankees do have a chance to get back to the World Series. I'll tell you the top 10 things that I am excited for as the season kicks off. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And just like that, I am wearing a different shirt. It got cold after I filmed my intro. What do you want from me? Welcome back, everybody. At the time of this podcast, there are only 2 more sleeps until opening day for the Yankees. And the team is currently en route to the Bronx. They've probably made it by now, en route to New York City. And they'll spend the next couple of nights in their own bed. Probably work out at Yankee Stadium, get all their stuff into the ballpark. And then on Thursday, with the forecast 52 degrees and partly sunny, the Yankees will kick off the 2025 campaign against the Brewers. My big fear on opening day is always the, snow out, the rain out, but it looks like the weather's going to be okay. You spend all winter studying every facet of the team, contemplating their plan for the season, all that good stuff. And it's finally here, and new memories will be made, and fun times will be had. There will be some ups, there will be some downs, but I am as hyped as can be for the 2025 season. So these are your 10 reasons to be excited. Actually, these are my 10 reasons to be excited. You may have others. And let us know in the chat. Let's begin with Paul Goldschmidt. Frankie says joy and anxiety is upon us. So Paul Goldschmidt should be a massive, massive improvement over Anthony Rizzo. I've compared the difference between what the Yankees got from Don Mattingly in his final year in 1995, to what they got from Tino Martinez the next year, where Tino hit 25 home runs, Mattingly had hit 7 home runs. Tino even hit for a higher average, I believe, 292. Mattingly was 288. But what Goldschmidt is going to give us could be an even bigger gap because Rizzo couldn't field anymore. He couldn't hit anymore. And when Tino came in, he was in his prime. Goldschmidt is obviously on the back end of his career, but the fact that he still put up basically an 800 OPS in the second half last year means he has something left in the tank. And this is not just some everyday run-of-the-mill guy. This is a guy with a hell of a resume. And he understands driving in runs. He understands the importance of, taking what the pitcher will give you and getting that runner in from third and hitting in the proper, the proper way to hit in Yankee Stadium. He spent the entire spring basically hitting fly balls to right field, driving that ball to right. His exit velocities have been better than anything we saw from Rizzo, and he can still pick it over there at first base. He reminds me of the type of guys that we had during some of those late 90s teams like the Brociouses and stuff like that, just quiet veteran guys who've been around a while and they're not flashy. He doesn't want to talk about it. He wants to be about it. And at this point in his career, he just wants to win. And he's going to do whatever it takes to win and to stay on the field. And I'm looking at maybe 275, 25 home runs, and 85 RBIs from Goldie. And that would be a huge improvement over Anthony Rizzo. Lori C says, poor Rizzo is retired, whether he knows it or not. Ouch. Ouch. That stings. That stings. All right, number 9. Let's get to number 9. The Yankees are getting back to some of the roots of their success. They've got more lefty hitters in the lineup than they've had in recent years. For the last few years, they've been really too right-handed. Pretty much for the duration of this podcast, I've been screaming about how overly right-handed they were. That's why it was so big to get the best left-handed hitter in the game last year, Juan Soto. And, there's a huge loss in Soto, But they do have a lot of guys on this roster who can still provide left-handed thump. So you got Austin Wells, tremendous this spring. He's going to be basically a lefty leadoff masher who's also patient, kind of like our version of Kyle Schwarber, except our guy is also a huge asset on defense.
Stellar defense.
We've got Cody Bellinger, who I'll talk about later, who has seemed locked in from the moment spring training began. You talk about great springs along the way. Stats don't typically mean a whole lot, but every once in a while somebody will tell you with their body language and the way they're swinging the bat that they're going to have a huge year. I remember when Tino got to spring training in 97, he was just locked in, ended up having a monster year, 44 home runs, 140 plus RBIs. Cody Bellinger looks genuinely pumped to be a Yankee, and he seems so comfortable. We got Dominguez, who has 6 MLB home runs. He got told he made the team today, so congrats to him. 6 MLB home runs, and they're all hit from the left side, where he is very dangerous. 744 OPS this spring after a very slow start. We get a full year of Jazz Chisholm, who could realistically go 30-30 or maybe even 30-40 or 30-50. Who knows? Sky is the limit with his athletic ability. Oswaldo Cabrera appears to have won the opening day third base job. Not that he had a stellar spring. It was okay. But really because Peraza did nothing. Peraza was playing for a spot and trying to win the third base job. But for the second time in his career, he's been given a chance to win a job in spring training and just has not hit at all.
He can't hit for nothing.
160 average in spring training. We got Ben Rice hitting rockets all over the field. I don't think anybody would be shocked if Ben Rice hits 20 home runs this year. And then J.C. Escara, the rookie, Trent Grisham, both hit lefty. Grisham started in center field today against the Marlins. So the Yankees getting kind of back to their roots of having a lineup with a lot of good left-handed hitters. Now, some of them are young and still emerging, but you'd rather have that than over-the-hill guys like Rizzo, you know? So do they still need a right-handed bat? You bet. But hopefully Giancarlo Stanton is back at some point this summer and can inject a little bit of right-handed pop when the time comes. All right, let's move on to number 8. By the way, Ref says he always thought Rizzo was overrated since 2016 when he was a Chicago Cub. He will not miss him. I'll miss him as a person on the bench. I miss seeing his smiling face. But you're right. I mean, I felt like he was never quite that guy with the Yankees. He was already on the down end of his career. Devin Williams. Super excited to watch Devin Williams. Saw him a couple of times this spring. And if you saw him pitch, the things he does with the baseball should be a felony. On MLB The Show, they call it a screwball. He calls it a changeup. It's just nasty, whatever it is, the way he makes the ball move. As you can see from his StatCast numbers, in 2023, I went back an extra year because he missed some time last year, so he didn't have enough time to qualify for a lot of these. But you can see that he is near the top of baseball in almost every metric that a pitcher can have. Velocity is about average, 94, but expected ERA, expected batting average, chase percentage, whiff percentage, strikeout percentage. The only thing that troubles you is the walk percentage, which has stunk the last 2 years. But guys don't hit the ball hard. They hit the ball on the ground when they do. And he's just a different cat. Just one of the better, more wicked and disgusting relief pitchers in baseball. MLB Network actually ranked him number 1 on the shredder. You see last year the numbers were still back up. Fastball actually slightly faster, went from 94.2 to 94.7, so he gained a half mile an hour. He was coming back from a back injury. This year he looks healthy, and if he is healthy, and he's going to try and stay on the field because he's going to be a free agent, you're going to see a lights-out closer. But perhaps his biggest contribution so far has been that he was part of the major tipping point to the facial hair policy being changed, because he showed up with a beard. He complained about it, coming off, and basically said he's not going to sign if he has to shave a beard. He made that pretty clear. I don't know if he said it in so many words, but he was unhappy about having to shave. And then you find out that the policy gets reversed. All right, let's move on to number 7. We've been talking about this guy on the channel forever, and I just wanted to extend a congratulations again to Jason Dominguez on making the opening day roster for the first time in his career. We're going to find out how real the hype was. And I think two possibilities exist. Either we're alone in the universe or we're not. And both are terrifying. Now, two possibilities exist. He's either going to start out of the gate on fire like he did when he first got to the majors, or he's going to get off to a slow start. He seems like he's kind of streaky. He's very hot or cold. Let's just hope that he comes out of the gate red hot, because if that gets his confidence going, the sky is the limit for this kid. Immense power, great speed. He looked better on defense towards the end of spring training, although I didn't see every single rep he took out there. He looked better when I was watching him. Final prediction for Dominguez this year, 272 average, 340 on base percentage, 27 home runs, 75 RBIs, 31 stolen bases. That would be a hell of a year. Massive rookie year, and probably rookie of the year. It helps that the Orioles are keeping Colby Mayo locked in the minor leagues. I tweeted this winter that Jason was going to be a rookie of the year, and some Orioles fan wise-ass replied, Colby Mayo exists. Well, one of them is on the opening day roster, and one of them is not. Oh! Number 6. Austin Wells has looked insanely good this year. He has looked comfortable. In fact, to call it comfortable doesn't do it justice. Everything about this man's swag this year, it just screams huge year incoming. He's more relaxed. Last year, he was trying to prove he belonged. This year, he knows he's the guy. He's going to be one of the best catchers in the American League, if not all of Major League Baseball, on both sides of the ball this year. That is my prediction. Massive year coming for Austin Wells. 6 home runs during spring training. And it looks to me like his bat speed has improved year over year. I haven't seen the StatCast metrics on that yet, but once we get a month or so of data in the regular season, you'll start to see, the year-over-year metrics for guys, and we'll do some comparisons. I'm predicting that his bat speed is going to be better this year. Just from the eye test, it looks better. I predicted 19 home runs for him this year on my over-under episode, but I kind of sacrificed that prediction because I wanted our takes to be different. Last year, me and Max Goodman had the same guesses on like 8 of 10, right? So I wanted to add in some variance. And so I took the under. I bit the bullet, and I took the under and went against my gut on Austin Wells. I took 19 home runs. I figured, as a catcher, maybe he'll get some time off. But Kratz was right. He hitting leadoff, he's going to get more at-bats. He's going to ambush pitchers on fastballs early in the game in front of Aaron Judge. If you told me he was going to hit 27, 28 home runs this year, I would believe you. And having an increase of 15, plus you talk about having an increase of like 15 or so at first base maybe from Paul Goldschmidt, maybe more, over Rizzo. You talk about what Dominguez can do over Verdugo in left field. I think Verdugo had 12 or 13 home runs. Dominguez could hit 25 or better. You start to see these numbers add up, and then you tack on maybe an extra 4 or 5 from Judge with a full, healthy April, and then all of a sudden losing Juan Soto, all you're really losing is the on-base percentage, right? Because the power will be made up for. That's my prediction. All right, number 5, let's talk about Ben Rice. He showed up to camp looking like he was spending his entire winter training to fight Ivan Drago. Dude put on at least 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and has been hitting piss missiles all over the Grapefruit League. 5 home runs in spring training. This is a guy who is no stranger to power. 3 home runs in his 17th career game. He was the reason that I shaved my head. You may remember that. And he found out today that he has officially made the opening day roster. Congratulations. First time in his career. Now, the question is, will he play on opening day? Now, today, Trent Grisham was in center field and Aaron Judge was the DH. But that could just be a product of trying to keep Aaron Judge in sort of metaphorical bubble wrap until the season begins. Or it could be a sign that one of the ways that the Yankees are trying to compensate for, the pitching that they've lost, and the run prevention is by putting a Gold Glove center fielder out there, and that allows you to move Bellinger to right and Judge to DH. Now that could be a possibility, and I think that could be a possibility on opening day. But personally, I would like to see Ben Rice get a shot on opening day. He had a great spring. He earned it, and I'm anxious to see what he'll do. Take the training wheels off and just let him play. Just let him go out there and hit and focus on hitting. But another left-handed bat that should be able to do some damage in Yankee Stadium. Gregory Wayne says, yes, DH on opening day versus Peralta. That's what we hope. Freddie Peralta, I always liked him. He's been on foul territory a bunch of times, and he's a good dude. All right, we got a quick word, speaking of foul territory, from the guys at Foul Territory. Quick 1-minute ad break, then I'll be back with numbers 4, 3, 2, and 1 back in 60 seconds.
Your hair is so much more than what you see when you look in the mirror. With Nutrafol's science-backed whole-body approach, nourish growth from within and achieve your best hair yet.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
Physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting key root causes of thinning like stress, hormones, and aging through whole body health.
Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol for a limited time. Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code FOUL. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FOUL. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code FOUL.
All right. Thanks to the folks at Foul Territory and Nutrafol. Let's move on to number 4. Max Fried's first full season with the Yankees. He has thrown the ball pretty well this spring. And with most free agents or guys who get traded to the Yankees, there's a little bit of an adjustment period. It takes a little bit of time to get used to playing in Yankee Stadium. But I think because he came here on his own accord, he had a full spring training. He wasn't traded. It was something he was expecting. He's had time to adjust. And, with Garrett Cole going down, he's going to need to step up. Now, everything about his body language and the way he carries himself and the way he does his interviews and his general disposition make it seem like he's very comfortable as a Yankee already. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win a Cy Young Award. I want everybody to expect that there's going to be some lumps early on in the season, but I think he's going to put together a really good year. 3.25 ERA last year, 174 and a third innings, 29 starts, 226 batting average against, and a 1.16 whip or walks and hits per innings pitched. He is now the highest paid left-handed pitcher ever. David Price is in second with $217 million. He got 8 years, $218 million this winter. Career with the Braves, and now he begins year 1 with the Yankees. I'm going to say 16 wins, 3.30 ERA. We'll sign up for that every day. Reminder to let me know your predictions in the chat and in the comments as we move along here. Number 3. The AL didn't get much better. Now, the Red Sox did get better, but Rafael Devers is disgruntled. He didn't want them to get Bregman. He wanted no part of Bregman. And they lost Lucas Giolito already. The Orioles are going to begin the season without Gunnar Henderson. The Astros traded Kyle Tucker and lost Alex Bregman. The Rangers could rebound. They had a lot of guys take a step back last year. They got some guys coming back healthy. The Tigers have great pitching. There was a piece about them on Foul Territory today with Jeff Passan. Definitely worth watching. But the Yankees are still a very good team. And with a few breaks, few big seasons, maybe they pick up an arm or a bat along the way, they have as good a shot as anybody to get back to the World Series. As anybody. They have a dominating bullpen. And like I said, they've had a lot of success in their history of their franchise with left-handed bats putting the ball in the seats. And it seems like they went back to strategy number 1. Get those lefties in there and tell them to put the ball in the bleachers. And That takes me to number 2. Cody Bellinger is looking like MVP Bellinger. I mentioned before that sometimes from the beginning of spring training, you can see that a guy is just completely locked in, and that's what I see with Bellinger. We had Kratz on the show the other day, and I trust his judgment. He spent a lot of time studying professional hitters as a professional catcher, and a lot of time watching games as a backup. And he understands when someone's comfortable. He understands the finer details of a guy's swing and their approach. And what he said about Bellinger got me extremely hyped. He said he looks just like the Bellinger they saw in 2019. Now, do I think that Cody Bellinger is going to hit 47 home runs? No, I don't think he has that in his bag anymore post-shoulder surgery. I also think that that might have been an anomaly in the same way that Gleyber Torres hitting 38 home runs was an anomaly. Juiced ball. But I do think there's 30 home runs in there and probably 20 plus, maybe 25 stolen bases, maybe a 290 to 315 average. All of that is still there. He's an athlete. He plays hard. You could tell that he is just pumped about being a Yankee. He's extremely motivated to have a big year. He's got an opt-out after the season, and a big season before he hits the open market could mean hundreds of millions of dollars. He knows that. His agent knows that. The Yankees know that. But I am super excited to see what Cody Bellinger can do. I've wanted him on the Yankees for a long time. When he was winning the MVP with the Dodgers, I remember taking a look at him and thinking, man, if he would ever consider coming to New York, my goodness, that guy he's got a swing that is built for Yankee Stadium for 2 reasons. He can turn on the pitch that's inside, and he's got the bat speed to golf it into the bleachers. You know, they compared him to Paul O'Neill, how he drops the bat head on that low and in pitch. Absolutely. Austin Wells does the same thing. But the other thing that Bellinger does really well is he hits the ball well to left field. And when you got a big gap out there in left field and you're hitting line drives, that's doubles. If he hits 30 doubles and 30 home runs and steals 30 bases, hits 290, plays Gold Glove caliber center field, he's going to win. He's going to get $250 million. Maybe not 250. Maybe he'll get 200. But he's got a chance to really get paid if he has a big year, and I'm expecting it. All right, number 1. Let me know in the chat what you're excited about. Number 1 for me, Aaron Judge and the Revenge Tour. He is looking for MVP number 3, and as much as it killed us fans that he went silent in the playoffs, you know that he spent the entire winter chewing on it. I fully expect him to be in MVP form from day one this year. You may remember that he began the 2024 spring training schedule kind of behind everybody. He was dealing with some injuries, didn't quite get off to the start he wanted. He had a really slow April. We were getting calls, people saying, trade Aaron Judge, and Aaron Judge is terrible and all this stuff. Well, he ended up hitting 58 home runs, hitting 322, winning his second MVP. He's going to get more time at the DH spot this year, which should keep him healthier. He was playing center field a lot last year because, you know, Soto had to play right because he's not a good defender. And if he even had his usual average month last year in April, we were talking about 62, 63 home runs. Add this year the spice of being fueled by last year's October failure. I think all scenarios are on the table. Triple crown. 322 last year. Would it surprise anybody he hits 330, 340 with a hot April? 65 home runs is on the table. 130, 140 RBIs on the table. Probably won't drive in as many without Juan Soto hitting in front of him. But he's fully healthy. And he's going to get more time at DH with Giancarlo out. It's going to keep him healthy. I think he's going to have a monster year. Aaron Judge alone could be a reason to just tune in every night. Not only to the Yankees game, but to this post-game show. And you'll see why. Most of you will tell stories for decades about watching this guy after he retires. As hard as we can be on him from time to time, people are going to be like, I was there when he hit 495. I remember when he had 2-3 home run games in one season. I was at the second one. I was. 60 home run number 60 into the bleachers. 62 home runs in Texas. One of the greatest players we've ever seen. There's only one thing missing from his resume at this point, and that is his singular focus this year. I guarantee it. And that is a World Series. Frankie Baseball says this year we're going to see what Aaron Judge is made of. I agree. We're going to see, hopefully, a revenge tour for the ages. Let's take a few more comments here. John Emmanuel Ramos says, hope to have enjoyed it, Derek. Let's effing go Yankees. And then Frankie Baseball says, Frankie, you're lighting up the chat with these one-liners. I'm jealous. He says, I've wanted Cody Bellinger on the Yankees since December of 2024. Cody playing for a massive contract, and I think he'll get a massive contract if he has a big year. You're talking a couple of $100 million. Referee says, how big will the Soto booze be when he gets up to bat at Yankee Stadium? Asking for a friend. I think he's going to get booed quite significantly. Yanks says, can you go back over the top 10? Well, I do wish that you would go back and rewatch the whole show, but I'll just run through it real quick. My 10 reasons to be excited. Number 10, Paul Goldschmidt and his improvement over Rizzo. First full year Goldschmidt. Number 9, Yankees getting back to the root of their success by having a bunch of good left-handed hitters on the roster for the first time in years. Number 8, Devin Williams is insanely nasty, and he will be the Yankees' new closer, which should mean a lot less frustrating nights at the end of the game. The Martian, number 7, first full season in the major leagues, first opening day. Number 6, Austin Wells, insanely good in spring training, carrying himself with a crazy amount of swag. Number 5, Ben Rice, trained all winter to fight Ivan Drago, put on 15 pounds of muscle and is nuking baseballs. Number 4, Max Fried, $218 million man, first season with the Yankees of 8. Let's hope that he stays healthy and that he dominates. If he does, it gives the Yankees a much better chance. Number 3, the AL didn't get much better. The Red Sox improved slightly. The Astros got worse. I believe the Orioles got worse. Number 2, Cody Bellinger looks like MVP Bellinger. And number 1, the Aaron Judge Revenge Tour. I hope that if you missed it, you go back and rewatch it. But thanks to everybody who tuned in, and let me know in the comments what you're most excited to see in 2025. And the next time you see me will be on opening day. Reminder that we're doing voicemails as part of the show this year. During the post game, we're also going to do the voicemail show the morning after game. So 10:30 in the morning during the week, and then post-game shows after every single Yankees game. We might do them a little bit later on days where they play a day game during the middle of the week just because I got to work. But, we'll be here. We'll be here. And Terrence Kem will be here a lot for State of the Yankees. We're going to have Aiden Deschamps on at some point. We're going to have Kratzy and Cameron Maben making appearances throughout the season. Going to be a really fun year. And I urge you to please like, subscribe, comment, join as a member, call into the voicemail, all that stuff that helps the channel. Follow us on all your favorite social platforms and follow us on all your favorite podcast platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, next stop, opening day. I'll see you then. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.